All right, Vegas in the ARCA car. This is kind of an interesting one. I'm going to do the typical settings that I do for the ARCA 1.5s. Again, it's all based on comfort, except for brake bias. I like the low brake bias. I don't think we'll get to that in this race, but we'll see. So this is a first lap hot lap. You can probably do a crawl first lap like 105 miles an hour, then do lap 2 for like slightly marginal better time. I'm talking like a couple hundredths, but it's fine. Just get your tires up to temp by running the out lap pretty hard. We're gonna run not the bottom, not the top, but for whatever reason, I think the middle is the best right now. So you can full throttle this right here. It's a bit tough, but you can make it through. We're gonna cut all the way here, try to get a late apex to the line so that we can cut as much of that as possible. Get up here, little lift, get the car down to the bottom of where this groove is right here, and then just try to get on full throttle as early as possible. Okay, a little slow there, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna set up for lap 2, see if it works. I think definitely carry a little more speed than I did there. Just gonna roll the top here until I can full throttle. Then just let the car rotate off the corner, get a lot of speed here. It's pretty viable for line 2, to be honest with you, just a little bit slow. Okay. So I'm gonna carry a little more speed into here. Gonna be a little sketchier. There we go. Full throttle. Let it come up to the wall. Nice. Same thing. Don't go all the way to the bottom. Gonna be a lot looser here. Just let it ride on that partial throttle. Full throttle, rotate the car off the corner. Nice. Cut the track. There we go. That second lap felt pretty good. So don't be afraid of second lap. If your first lap is not going very well like mine was there, just rack them up. Run the high line on the second lap and you should be good to go. Or run the high line, sorry, on the end of the first lap. So setting up for the second lap here, you'll see I just run half throttle or 60%, I guess. And I'm just aiming for my left sides on the seam, and I just hold this half throttle because if I go too early, it's gonna get really loose. I test the throttle a bit by going up to like 85, 90. And it sticks enough. The right rear starts to slide a tiny bit, but it's fine. So then I go to 100 and then just use the looseness to rotate the car off the corner. Not an amazing strategy for a race, but for building up speed on a qualifying lap, it's pretty good. Then we're going to cut down all the way through here. And then make sure to get straight back up to the wall. If you don't get straight back up to the wall, it's going to be pretty tough. So from here, I'm aiming my car. Notice how I point the nose of my car early, aiming it, pretending that you see where it's dark here. That's my bottom groove. That's my new bottom line where this dark line is. I'm aiming there. I could try to go to the bottom. We'll mess around with it a bit with the long run, but it's just this right here was just faster for me. So it's pretty simple. I get out of the throttle as I'm coming down the banking to about 70%, maybe 80. And I just use my steering wheel to get where I want to go. And then I'm just going to hold that throttle. And then once I kind of see daylight on the corner, I go full throttle. And then just the moment I go full throttle, the car doesn't love that. The car wants to be at like that 85, 90% throttle. But I'm trying to make up speed here. So I force it to full throttle when I think that the car will just marginally slide up to the wall and exit here without any effort. So you see how my steering wheel is just so steady. Well, it's kind of coming back and forth, but I'm not trying to turn the wheel any further to the left because the car is really loose now. It's rotating itself. And that full throttle should just get it on the right rear and off the corner. 3 and 4 are going to be even looser, so this is going to be tougher. I arc it a little more into 3 than I do into 1, just so that I'm sure that I have that angle that I want. But still, my nose is pointed where it wants to go before the corner even starts. And instead of going to 70, I'll go to 60. And then I'll just hold the 60 right on the bottom of this dark groove here. And you see how it's just sliding, sliding, sliding. I'm just trying to manage the angle so that I'll be able to just get off the corner with the current trajectory I'm heading. Like if I could get everything to stick and having a more comfortable exit, that'd be great, but I'm trying to carry as much speed as possible. So my way of doing that is how fast can I go while being able to just let the car come up to the wall and not hit it. And that was about what I did. So a little bit of an arc, turn in, get the angle, 60%, and then just hold it, let the car go where it wants to go, and then raise the throttle to get it on the right rear and rotate it off the corner, and then cut it down here. All right, cool. Talk about long run a bit. So long run, usually the bottom of Vegas is really good, but for whatever reason, in the current iteration that this track is on, the grip just really isn't there on the very bottom line. I have a feeling that this race is going to be run at the middle and the top of the track. Just from the testing that I've done, and I'll show you what I mean. So even if we go down to here, the car is just really slidey. And it doesn't have a super great angle off the corner. We'll try to run the very bottom one. I have to get off the gas more than usual. And you see how it just doesn't turn. It's just coming up the track even though I'm holding that same throttle that I was holding in the middle. That just tells me that the amount of grip that my car and the track have in that lane just isn't jiving. Here, half, like this is better, but it's still sliding up in a way that I don't love. You could probably make bottom of 3 and 4 work, but it might be just as good to run that middle because the car kind of overall slides a little less. So let's go back to that middle. You see how much more the car just wants to stick to that groove? When I was on the bottom, the car wanted to be anywhere but there, but when I run the middle of the track, the car just really is fine being there. And if the car is not fighting it, that means that you're not wearing your tires. So even though the bottom generally is somewhere where people think, oh, that's where you save your tires, if the car doesn't want to be there, it's never going to be saving tires. I think this is going to be the dominant line, the one that I'm running right here. I think that the top can come into play late. I think the bottom of 3 and 4 is possible. It's not horrible, right? It's just not better. The top I don't think comes into play until the tires wear off. We can carry a little more speed up top here, but you see we just lose 1/10 and a half, only to get 1/2 a tenth back. So it's not ready yet. Once the bottom slows way down, or at like the middle bottom, then I think that the top will become better, but that's a place that'll really burn your tires if you're not careful, so I can just kind of save that to be in your arsenal, not be your like lap after lap drive. Let's go back to this middle. This middle is what's the most comfortable part of the track for me, and what that usually tells me is that if it's a comfortable part of the track, it's saving tires, because the car is doing less work. You're asking it to do less. So less force on the car means less tire wear. Oh, you see, I throttled too early there, kicked the rear out. That's not great at this track because we want to keep our tire wear balanced. Right there, that wore too much of my right rear compared to my right front. Sometimes when the car is just so much on the right front, you gotta do whatever is possible to get on the right rear. But a place like Vegas, like this combo can be very balanced if you drive it balanced. So our goal is to have both tires under us, neither be loose nor tight in these corners. And I think the best place to do that is to drive in the middle. Although I say that I'm a little tight right now, and honestly, that was because I let out of the throttle too late. You could see that my nose wasn't pointed exactly where I wanted it to be, so my car follows the nose. It's not really that super complicated, but it's a little bit weird to get used to. Let's do a better 3 and 4 this time. So turn earlier, get the nose pointed where we want it to go early, before the banking starts, and the rest will follow. There we go. You see how much easier that is? I just pointed the car where I want to go, and it's just going to drive the rest of the corner for me. So much less effort. So yeah, that middle line will probably be the single-ish groove. You can probably move around a little bit within that middle. Top might be better late. Bottom 3 and 4 is fine. I don't love bottom 1 and 2. Just doesn't feel like it has any grip to me. And 95/95 tire wear, so we're evenly wearing the tires. So you see what I'm talking about. We're trying to find the line where I'm neither loose nor tight, and that's going to be the best in our tires. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.